What's up? What it do? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today, April 18th. So I was just looking at something. So I haven't been covering a whole lot of the Lil Durk situation. For one, it wasn't a whole lot of action to cover, but now I see that they filed some stuff today. I'm gonna go over it. But in general, what I'm going over today is that they really filing some litigation now that's like, you know how a fight begins and the boxers just throwing a jab, throwing a jab. Now they throwing some real punches. So before I read it, for people who may not be interested and don't stick around for all the legal parts of it, what Dirk's lawyer is doing now is he's challenging the authenticity of the entire grand jury hearing and the indictment, the superseding indictment. Because remember, Dirk, for people who follow the situation with Dirk and his murder for hire case and everything with Quando Rondo stemming from King Von's murder, Dirk was not indicted in the first indictment and was not named in that indictment. He was only named in the superseding indictment. You get a superseding indictment when they take some other information to the grand jury. This paperwork that was filed today is alleging that the only thing new in the superseding indictment was the government alleging that Dirk commercialized and made a profit, basically bragging, claiming responsibility for the shooting that took Quando Rondo cousin's life and the attempt that they got on him. So I'm gonna go into it. But remember, they only based it on rap lyrics, and now Lil Durk's lawyer is saying that the rap lyrics and the things that they were alleging in the rap lyrics never really occurred, was not recorded. They have the producers and the engineers with declarations stamping what they're saying. So I'm gonna try to go into it. Follow me right here because I'm gonna read some of it now. This was filed today. This brand new. This just coming out. Drew Finally, that's the lawyer out of Georgia. Bad man. He was also the lawyer that represented Demetrius Flannery, Big Meech, in that first big BMF case. But let me just jump right into this part, okay? Filed today, defendant Dirk Banks' motion to dismiss superseding indictment based on false and or misleading grand jury evidence. That's a big no-no. That could jeopardize the entire case. Defendant Dirk Banks, through his counsel of record, moves the court to dismiss the superseding indictment against him in this matter. In the alternative, he moves to compel disclosure of the grand jury minutes and the evidence the government presented to the grand jury. And I'm not going to read all that for you. What they're saying right there is that if the government played any games when they went to get this indictment, this superseding indictment, or in the beginning, whenever they presented evidence about Dirk, if it was false, if it was deceptive, if anything was wrong with it, they got the grounds for them to ask for this dismissal. Moving on, the undersigned and the assigned assistant United States attorney in this matter had a meet and confer regarding this matter via email correspondence on April 17th, which was yesterday. As required by the court's criminal standard order and the local rules referred to herein, the parties did not reach an agreement on the issues presented. So, by email, the lawyer for Dirk, Lil Durk, and the lawyer for the government, which is the U.S. attorney, they conferred. They couldn't come to no understanding. That means that Lil Durk's lawyer is smashing the gas and keeping his foot on their neck, saying that, yo, this information that y'all presented to the grand jury is false. Y'all know it's false, and y'all need to dismiss it. In my opinion, I'm gonna give y'all my legal opinion. In my opinion, they're not relenting on it because they know that whatever they put in that thing, in order for the grand jury to come back and indict with the superseding indictment, they know that their case is based on that. This case may be falling apart. We'll get back into this next part right here. I'm gonna skip the table of contents and just go into some of the arguments because that's the part that will help y'all understand. And according to, you know, as they say, news or things that come out, this is the part of the information that was, you know, important today on the 18th. And I'm gonna try to get this video out before the next day so I can at least say to yay that I can at least say, hey, I had it out. All right, memorandum and points of authority. These are important when it comes to motions like this, motions to dismiss indictments and things like that, right? All right, so the introduction. The government presented false evidence to the grand jury that indicted Mr. Banks on November 7th, 2024. The plain language of the superseding indictment makes it apparent that the government told the grand jury that Mr. Banks, through specific lyrics in his music, celebrated and profited from a revenge murder that he had ordered, namely that of SR in August of 22. That claim is demonstratively false. The song the government relied upon as evidence against Mr. Banks, Wonderful Wayne and Jack Boy, a song that was recorded by another artist, Babyface Ray, and on which Mr. Banks recorded a feature for, could not have been a commercialization of Mr. Banks' alleged murder for hire of SR as the government represented it to the grand jury. This is because Mr. Banks recorded the lyrics before. This is because Mr. Banks recorded the lyrics for Wonderful Wayne 7 months before the indictment even happened. This is because Mr. Banks recorded the lyrics from Wonderful Wayne 7 months before the incident even happened. The government's misrepresentation of the superseding indictment, whether knowing or recklessly, undermines the integrity of the grand jury's true bill against Mr. Banks. The court should dismiss the superseding indictment against him as a result. Now, they have a background here. If you're watching my channel, you're aware of Lil Durk. I'm not going to read the background. We all know Lil Durk came from Chicago. We know his father was locked up, did a bunch of time. We know Durk was involved with things in the streets, from King Von to music to being a Grammy-nominated artist. That's all in here. The lawyer is making it clear to the judge and the courts that this person is not no little rinky-dink artist. This dude is an international artist. If he recorded the lyrics 7 months prior to the incidents that they presented to the grand jury, they have other professional, world-renowned artists, engineers, and other people that work in the music industry to vouch for this. So I'm going to skip the background part of it. We all know that. All right. Relevant to the matter at hand, Mr. Banks had recorded a feature for Babyface Ray on Wonderful Wayne upon Babyface Ray's request. The song in question was ultimately attributed to Babyface Ray with the feature credit to Mr. Banks. Mr. Banks recorded his portion of the song in January of 2022. Don't forget that part. That being his last involvement in this song, further production was done by producers and other industry professionals. I just mentioned that. But no changes to the content of lyrics were ever made by Mr. Banks or anyone else associated with Mr. Banks. All this information was readily available to the government. It was readily available to the government before they presented the BS to the grand jury. So technically, they done something that was unethical, legally dishonest. And things like that could get the indictment tore up and could make the case fall apart. Outside of the four corners of the superseding indictment, but important to this court's consideration of the egregiousness of the government's conduct and the necessity of the relief contained in the motion, the issue of the timing of these lyrics was addressed by the undersigned defense counsel at Mr. Banks' detention hearing on December 12, 2024. To counter the argument, counsel for the government posited to the court that even if the lyrics themselves were written 7 months prior to the charged conduct, a version of the song was modified that added audio from a news clip of TB on top of the original song. What they mean right there is that the U.S. attorney that's prosecuting this case, that is fighting adamantly for Durk not to get a bond hearing back then, and now for them not to be able to throw the whole indictment out. If anyone's seen the clip after the shooting, and God rest the dead, after the shooting that occurred out there in California that they charged for, let's say it that way, there's a part of it when the young man is outside the SUV and he's just realizing that someone is fatally hurt. He screams out in some type of distress. Someone other than Durk or the OTF crew or anybody that's even associated with them, according to his attorney, added that audio of someone screaming in distress over it. Durk didn't do that. You can't present that to a grand jury and say that this was even part of the music. I'm gonna go past that part. So the original song, following this assertion, which the government is making as a part of the whole murder for hire, that they saying that it's a part of guilt, They got it off of YouTube, bro. Like this whole man life is at stake for something that they got off of YouTube and some other content creator. Let's call it what it is. Some other content creator is probably not even a content creator that makes a bunch of original content. Said, oh, I think it would be real cool if I take Quando Rondo yelling, oh no, and put it over a Lil Durk song. So if that person, if you're a Lil Durk fan, what you did, it wasn't even cool, bro. It's in court right now and they trying to prosecute him for it. But let's move on past that. Following the assertion at the detention hearing and unaware of any such modifications attributed to Mr. Durk, which is Durk, Mr. Banks, the undersigned counsel asked the government to provide where they were referring to what they were referring to in that email correspondence. The government replied with videos that appeared to be taken from recent open source YouTube searches. That means they just typed it in there and whatever came up, they used it. They slept it. They slipping. This lawyer that Lil Durk got is not no chump when it comes to litigation in the courtroom. He a bad man. I'd have checked him out. The government replied with videos that appeared to be taken from recent open sources, YouTube searches that were in no way connected to Mr. Banks. This further complicates what evidence, argument, and instructions the government presented to the grand jury and will be addressed below. The issue over the timing of Mr. Banks recording the lyrics verses in question is not one of frivolous or inconsequential value. It is quite the opposite. The government's misrepresentation about the creation and meaning of Wonderful Wayne are points of the superseding indictment's theory of Mr. Banks's guilt. Indeed, the superseding indictment features it prominently. Following the attempted murder of TB and the murder of SR, defendant Banks sought to commercialize SR's death by rapping about his revenge on TB with music that explicitly references audio from a news clip taken shortly after SR's murder where TB screamed, no, 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 after seeing SR's dead body. I'm going to stop right there. If you're interested in it, leave a comment in the comment box. Let me know what you think. I'll go deep into it. I just came back to show you this because I told you when I first covered the Lil Durk thing, I didn't want to just jump on it because it was a hot topic on YouTube or in a YouTube search. I was trying to really see how they was going to play legally with him. So now you see that they used the rap lyrics. I was wanting to see, I thought it was going to be a long, drawn out process before the lawyers and the defense attacked the rap lyrics. They're attacking the rap lyrics off the beginning. The government is saying that their proof or their sliver of proof to his guilt is a song that he rapped about 7 months prior to the incident, and then some genius YouTube content creator gonna add the Quando Rondo screaming outside their SUV. And that's part of what they presented to the grand jury. If that's part of what they presented to the grand jury, they might have to throw the superseding indictment out. And I'm gonna be realistic. It's going to be hard, but this is a realistic shot at just throwing the superseding indictment out. Now, if they throw the superseding indictment out, I don't know what the situation may be because Durk is fully exercising his right to a speedy trial. Free Durk. Let me know what you think.